Alright, time to learn something not many backyards, especially on YouTube, places teach. They're starting to more, but any which way, this is chain wrestling. Some basic chain wrestling. Keep in mind, neither of us are, quote, properly trained. I have done jiu-jitsu, I have done many other things, and you can ask me personally about my experience, or wrestle me, and you'll learn more, and figure out where exactly I am. I don't claim to be an expert, but I claim to know a little something. So, here's the deal. We're going to show you some of these moves. We're actually going to show you a full chain. Keep in mind, this is not the only chain by any stretch. There's many different chains, and all these different chains have different links to them. And I'm going to break down those links. I'm going to change positions with him. Do our first thing. We're going to both get ready. Normally, when you're here, you're going to lock up collar and elbow. We're not going to do that yet. We're going to do that, but not yet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to reach over, grab the wrist, come under, over, and I'm going to take it back up into a hammer lock. Okay, hammer lock is behind the back. You don't want to push up too hard because you don't want to hurt them. Again, this is work wrestling. This is not shoot wrestling. So, I'm going to take it there. Now I'm going to do something else. But first, let's watch that again. Slow. I'm coming across. I'm going to grab that arm right at the wrist. Take it here, take it up, over my head, back, and bend at the elbow, up into the hand. Hold it there. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to let go of my right arm. I'm going to grab a front headlock here, okay? Front guillotine, whatever you want to call it. So, from there, I drop that hammer lock. Actually, no. I'm not going to drop. I'm going to keep it until I transition into the next hold. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn into a regular headlock. I'm going to reach my left hand over into a regular headlock. I'm going to turn this way so you can see. Now, I'm going to perform a headlock takeover. You have to be real careful on this. The person taking the move has to be real careful of where his elbow ends up. Because if you land on your elbow, it's not going to be fun. You need to land flat on your back and do a proper bump. Once again, we're going to go into bumping in a minute. I'm going to do that literally after this move. But watch how he lands. If he lands properly, I'll let you know. But you're going to step this leg out, that outside. Actually, this is technically inside. This is where I am. That inside leg out, way out here. We're going to take him over. That was close. So, any which way, there's your headlock takeover right there. So, any which way. We're going to go over bumping real quick before we continue. Bumping is the standard way in which a wrestler falls. It is a stunt fall, but that does not mean it does not hurt. It does hurt. It does hurt, especially on ground, even if you have the softest grass in the world, with the biggest spring. Basic bump that you can start to take, scoot over this way so I can show them, is a squatting bump. Basically, you can squat down. What you want to do is you want to fall back on your back flat and smack the ground just like this, okay? Your hand, the palm of your hand, down to the ground. This creates noise when you fall. It also cushions your fall and makes it look so much better. So, squatting bump, like that. The other thing you got to do is you need to make sure that you breathe out before you fall back, because if you do not, you can get the wind knocked out of you. That's not pleasant at all.
And typically when you get hit, like with a clothesline or something, it will already kind of push the air out of your lungs anyway.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Any which way, that's a squatting bump. I'll show you a standing bump. And then I'll show you a front bump. The standing bump, same thing, but you're actually standing up. Be real careful, especially depending on the ground that you have. If you have a lot of rocks, don't do it. You need some cushy grass. I prefer a tarp because it makes the, you're not actually getting into the bugs and things for the most part. Here we go. This is a regular bump. Obviously, I'm not a pro, but I can do it so that I don't hurt myself, which is a plus. So, here we go. You do want to throw yourself back fairly hard when you do it. But you don't want to do it so hard that you hurt yourself. This is something you have to practice and figure out your comfort levels. You do not want to have your arms behind you before you hit. because then you'll really get hurt, and you do not want to land on your elbows or hands, because then you can break your shoulder, your elbow, your wrist, whatever.
And the last thing you don't want to land on is your head.
Yes, do not land on your head or your upper back, your shoulders, because that can screw up your neck, and that's kind of a vital part of your body.
I've landed on my neck plenty of times by screwing up a bump, and it's not pretty.
Yes.
And it hurts.
So, going back to our chain, we'll go through our chain one more time, a little bit faster up until our headlock takeover. So we're going to start. He's going to kind of throw a punch-ish. I'm going to grab, come under, and come back into a hammer lock. Next, grab a front face lock here. See how I changed my grip? I had it right here, take it here. This is a pretty strong hold here. He's pretty neutralized. Even in a shoot fight or whatever, he can punch here, you know, if it's a legit fight. And he can use that for, yeah, you got to protect there. But the basic hold is fairly sound. So, from there, I'm going to simply, and I'm not going to let go and let this arm flop around over here. I'm going to just straight up shoot over into that headlock, okay? Now I have the headlock. I'm going to turn this way so you can see headlock takeover from this angle. And I'm going to step way out here with my left leg. And I'm going to turn him over. I was close to a proper bump. Pretty close, good job. Now, from here, I'm going to continue our chain. What we're going to do is I'm going to come over here, let go of the head, I'm going to grab the top wrist lock. Now some guys can get this next move without having to do the top wrist lock. James and I, Caillou and I, we do this thing a little different. We do it with the top wrist lock. So top wrist lock, what you want to do is you want to create a triangle here. I know it's kind of hard to see, I'll show it like that. See his elbow here, and this arm across. What you want to do is come up under his elbow, grab your wrist or up on your hand, whichever. Up on your hand's a little tighter. In a shoot fight, what I would be doing is I would first have this thing all kinds of twisted and then do that. But for work, we'll go ahead and just do the wrist. Grab here, torque it just a little, not a lot, not to pull his cuff or anything. So then he's going to, you'll see it, head scissor. And he's got it. I'm going to turn, I'm going to get my arm out. He's going to work my arm out. There we go. I got the head scissors nice and tight. Hope you can see this on camera. Let's turn it down 180 degrees.
No, he's not doing anything under there.
Okay, so now I'm going to try and get out a couple times when I'm ready. Put my hands up. Just come out. Keep my hands on his legs. Slowly stand up and back. It's the first part of the chain. Next part, he's going to get up. We're going to do that collar and elbow I talked about earlier. This is a collar and elbow. You take this hand, see here, and my hand, both our left hands, back of the neck. Okay? Second part, right hand, hook of the elbow. Now, when you do this, you want to step in hard and make it look like you're two bulls going at it, all right? So, step in. There it is. You can move, push, tug around. What I'm going to do is I'm going to knock this arm free. I'm going to step up here, and I'm going to do what's called a snapmare. I'm not actually really pulling. I am going to hold his head, go down to my knee that is on the same side as him. If I go down to this knee, the one near you, he's going to hit my knee, which is not good. See that knee there? That's not good. So we're going to go to the other knee, the knee closest to his head. So we're going to go down to that knee. He's going to flip over. That wasn't a great flip.
I didn't flip it on because you didn't tell me to.
Okay, well, you can now. But here we go. We're going to show you that snapmare.
Communication is key because that popped my neck.
This is true. You all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
I didn't pull, for the record. It's just my momentum going down. So anyway, here we go. That was fairly good. From there, you can go into a pin. 1, 2. He kicks out. Right? And you can continue from there. That's going to be our chain. We're going to go all the way through it. Pretty much full speed. Keep in mind, full speed does not mean as fast as you can go.
Full speed means as fast as you can go safely.
Well, not just that. It means as fast as you can do it while still relaying the story. The story to this is just basically we're going back and forth. But keep in mind, I have to, this can't look like a stunt. This needs to look like combat. So there's going to be little subtleties. I'll point out a couple afterwards. See if you can get them. I'll do that post production and actually do like, you know, the football drawing and thing like that. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and do this chain. I believe you remember it.
I believe so.
Okay. We're going to do our best. And if there is any communication issue, go ahead and whisper it. It's not a big deal. If you can get it to where you don't have to, that's great. But whatever works, all right? So any which way.
And just so you know, he and I have been friends for 5 or 7 years now. So,
a while, yes.
Yes, for a long time.
And we trust each other.
Yes, he's the big one, so I pretty much relay off of what he does. But I am the flexible one, so I can take a lot more stretching, as you see in these videos. So please, I emphasize again, if you are not limber and you are not able to take pain, some of these moves, you should really tone them back.
Yes.
Because they can dislocate a shoulder, elbow, wrist, I don't care what it is. If you're bony, these moves can possibly injure the person you're doing it with.
Test your partner, see their limits. Don't go too hard ever. Go slow when you're testing limits, and know them. So any which way, we're going to go ahead and start this thing.
Enough about Bill. Let's get to the fun.
All right. So,
yeah, I got it. You got it. Come on, get out of it. Get it. Come on. Do that one. Come on, get out of it. One, two.
well done. One thing I noticed right away I messed up was the very first move. Some of you may have already caught that. However, we got through it. Also, there's certain times where he's saying go, I'm waiting on purpose. You just got to get your timing down. And when timing's lovely, everything's lovely. Also, that headlock takeover was not perfect. It's something he and I need to work on. But, you know, when the more you work on things, the better you get. Just be careful and responsible.
Like one of the moves that we did when we did the head takeover, when I came over his side, is I bumped with my elbow like an idiot. And that jarred into my shoulder, which in turn hit my jaw. So, I goofed. So, this is not in the 100% art that we have down yet. We do make mistakes, everyone does. So just make sure you don't repeat them until somebody gets dislocated jaw.
Okay, we're going to name this chain so that we can come back to it if we need to, just for record. So what do you want to call this one? It can be named after a city, something easy to remember. Or a Bible book.
Since it changes hands a lot, how about Gangland?
Okay, we'll call it Gangland. This is the Gangland chain. When I or he call Gangland to each other, we know what we're doing. If we can memorize this chain and learn it and keep doing it. So that's the way chains work in wrestling. Especially, well, backyard, because this is what we do. Obviously, I'm not pro, obviously I'm not trained, but I've read a lot, and I stress to you that you can learn these things. It is not impossible. It just takes responsibility and not being an idiot and suing people and not being an idiot falling through flaming tables and being stupid. This takes smarts and responsibility.
And no, we have not used any sort of weapons because weapons hurt if you don't know how to take them right.
Yes. So this is all about wrestling too, not about weapons, not about being extreme. So thank you all, and we're going to do some more videos here. But for now, this is the end of this one.